And greetings YouTube gamers, welcome to the very first episode of Retro Raider. My name is Johnny Retro and welcome to the channel. So I decided that for my first YouTube video I wanted to talk about a game that made a huge impact on my childhood. It's a game from my favorite system of all time, which is the PlayStation 1, and that game is Tombi. But before we jump into the review, let me tell you how I got this game. I grew up in a family of collectors. My parents are in the antiques and vintage item business, so since I was a very young child, I'm pretty much used to, thrift stores, flea markets and stuff like that. And eventually I followed my parents' footsteps, and that's what I do for a living now. And this one time, I was with my father at a local flea market here in Lisbon, and we found a guy selling video games. And that guy actually became a very good friend of ours. He's still on the very same spot as he was 20 years ago, and he sells modern games or second-hand games for modern systems. So at the time, this was 98, I believe, I was looking for PlayStation 1 games because it was the system that I had. So the first game that popped into my eye was Tombi, and the main reason why, because it was the first time that I ever seen a game in my mother tongue, in Portuguese. Now, we Portuguese people are not particularly well known for our good translations and voice acting, but, for a 10-year-old kid, my English was not very good at the time, so to being able to, play a game in Portuguese, that to me was insane, and I could be wrong, but I think this was the very first game on the PlayStation 1 to be translated in Portuguese. So, for nostalgia, this game I can only play in Portuguese. So I asked my father if I could, pick up the game, and he said okay, so I bought this second-hand, but it's complete in box, pretty much in mint condition, and this game cost me 2,000 escudos at the time. So escudos was the Portuguese national money before we got the euros, so that's approximately 10 euros, more or less. And at the end of the video I will tell you why I'm talking about the price of the game. So without further ado, let's jump into the review right after this.
Tombi is a side-scrolling platform adventure game with some RPG elements developed by Whoopee for the PS1 in 1997, released in Japan on the same year, and 1 year later in the US and Europe. You play as Tombi, a pink-haired caveman who sets on an adventure to retrieve his grandfather's gold bracelet, which was stolen by the evil pigs known as Comma Pigs. The game is set in a group of islands in the middle of an ocean where people lived in tranquility until the 7 evil Comma Pigs appeared and used their magical powers to mutate the once beautiful landscape into a bizarre scenario. The Comma Pigs have an unknown lust for gold, so it's up to Tombi to retrieve his stolen bracelet and save the land. Along the way, Tombi will meet a lot of characters who don't necessarily contribute to the main plot, which doesn't make that much sense to begin with, but will trigger a lot, and I mean a lot of side quests that you must complete in order to proceed with the game. Some of these quests will give you power-ups, new items, weapons, and skills to boost you up. The game follows a constant quest-based structure, which leads me to the downside of the game. You will have multiple quests at the same time right from the beginning of the game, and for the most part of it, you just don't know what you're supposed to do. You can easily grab an item for a quest that you missed before, or you can ditch out an item that is supposed to be used in a quest later on. There is a lot of backtracking in this game, so make sure to visit all the places, talk to all NPCs, and do a lot of exploration. Without a guide to help you out, you might get a little bit frustrated. One of the crucial parts of the game is to find the 7 evil pig bags that are used to trap the Comma Pigs. Some of the bags are rewards from quests, others are found in treasure chests out in the wild. Each bag has a different color, one for each Comma Pig, and each Comma Pig is associated with a different element like earth, fire, water, etc. Once you acquire a bag, you then need to find a portal that will lead you to the realm of that specific evil pig, and these portals are very hard to find and you will not receive any clues to find it, so have fun exploring. Once you discover the portal, you enter the evil pig's realm, and that is where you'll have the boss battles. In order to win, you need to grab the evil pig and throw him to the bag. After the evil pig is trapped, the area that was under his spell will return to its original state so you can go back, explore again, and trigger more quests to advance further into the game. A lot of people complain about the controls of the game. Personally, I have no problem with the obstacles or its fighting elements. Besides, you have a bunch of items that will make your life much easier. This was also one of the very first games to use the DualShock feature. The graphics are pretty good for PS1 standards. Sure, they look outdated now, but keep in mind that we were in an era where 3D graphics were still fresh, so for a side-scrolling platformer from its time, it looked pretty good and holds on pretty well. The whole game has a very colorful, cartoony flavor, the sprites are sharp, with some pre-rendered elements, the backgrounds are smooth, and colors are very beautiful. The cinematics are very nicely done, in an old-school anime style. The music is good also. Not saying it's one of the best game soundtracks because it isn't, but it does the job. They're catchy, and after playing for a couple of hours, it was definitely stuck in your head for a while. To sum up, Tombi is a very quirky game and very out of the box. If you're looking for something different and unique, try this one out.
Remember at the beginning of the video when I told you that this game cost me 10 euros on the late 90s? Well, in today's market, this goes for about 20 times more. And I'm not even kidding. If you go to eBay right now, you will find copies like mine going for, 170 up to 220 euros. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. This game got a sequel. Unfortunately, I still don't have it, but the hunt's still on. And the second one, I heard that it's not as good as the first one. It got some improvements on the graphics department and stuff like that, but I still want the game. And the good news is that it is not as much expensive as the first one, but it's still a high bill. So I'm just waiting for the right opportunity to get a copy for myself. Anyway guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about Tombi? Did you play it? Did you not play it? Would you be interested in buying it? What do you think about the current price of the game? Don't forget to put a like on the video, please subscribe to the channel, and take care of yourselves, take care of the gaming community, and game a lot.